Hold on, guys.
You are muted now.
Guys, I know I'm muted. Just give me a moment. I'm recording something for Micah. Just give me a moment, please. Okay, guys. All right. So I've left Micah a message. I think he will come back afterwards to summarize on what he was trying to say later. Okay, so somebody was trying to share their screen. Please let's go on with that. Fatima. Okay. Okay. You guys did well though. I'm liking what I'm saying.
Yes, ma. We try, Sha.
Okay, so you are to do a presentation now. So I'll use this opportunity to teach you guys how to present your project. So go on. We are listening.
Okay, so while I was doing it, I realized that it doesn't need to have a sign up or a sign in page because some people do not want their information known. So this is what I did. The very first page is going to be a welcome page with just the logo, and then the next page is where you answer the questions. Then there's an introductory message telling you what the form is going to be about. Then the services we offer, you rate it. These are the stars that I used to rate it. And then below that is a section where you drop your contact details if you wish, and then a submit form. Then after that, you have your thank you page.
Okay, so you basically have how many screens?
I have three:
Okay,
a
you have three
welcome,
screens.
the questions, and then a thank you.
Okay, okay,
Mm-hmm.
cool. All right. Okay, well, you did well for your presentation, straightforward. However, I think you missed the part of telling us your idea. You didn't tell us what problem you're trying to solve. You just assumed that your investors or your future employer understands what you just said. So start all over.
Okay, so I am designing a feedback app
What's your name,
for
ma'am? What's your
restaurants.
name? You did not say your name too.
Okay, sorry, my name is Fatima Aminu.
Mm-hmm.
So I am designing a feedback app for restaurants.
Okay.
Yeah, so this app is meant to help the owners of the restaurant get insights of what customers feel about their restaurant and their food.
Okay.
So the app, from the beginning of the app, you have your logo that will welcome you. Then this logo is meant to last for maybe like just 2 seconds on your screen. Then the next page, you have this introductory text telling you, "Thank you very much for taking our time to fill this feedback form. We are currently doing a research to improve the quality of food." And then you have some of the services the restaurant offers where you get to rate it as a customer. Then below that, you have this optional section asking you for your contact details because when I was making research, I found out that whenever you're creating a feedback form, nothing should be compulsory because you could just turn off the person doing it. So that's why the contact details, because it's not very necessary, I believe. is optional, and then you have a submit form, then a thank you saying we'll look into your review immediately and work towards serving you better.
Okay, good. Okay, so my points that I would like you guys to put into account next time you're doing a presentation is, first, when you're doing a UX presentation, you need to talk about what the problem was in the beginning. Yes, you need to give us an idea of what you've researched about the problem, and also just give us an idea of the solution you've come out with. Then you can now do your presentation of your design. In this case, it's a sketch you have now. So that's when you can do the presentation of your idea. So for instance, let me do but you did really well, Fatima, for the very first person. You did well, thank you. Okay, so let me do my own run through. If I was one, I'll probably say, hi, my name is Grace. So I'm trying to solve a problem of participants okay, scratch that. Let me start all over again. Okay, so my name is Grace. I'm working on a certain project that solves the problem of people giving feedbacks. I've done a lot of research, extensive research through interviews and surveys, and I discovered that a lot of people like to give their feedback, but they don't have such an opportunity to give feedback. Some of the current solutions that exist are the fact that in restaurants, they have their box in the restaurants where people can drop their feedback. But from my research, I found that a lot of people don't really like dropping their feedback. To even get a paper and biro to write it down, then drop it in, is actually tedious for them. So that was a problem I found out. So based on my research, I realized that creating a mobile app that could stand alone or could be integrated with the restaurant's app later on is a solution. So here is what I have come about. I'm showing you my sketches. So you see how I've created a story from the beginning, which was the problem, to what I found out through my research, then the solutions have come about, then showing you the solution. That's how to do the UX presentation. Okay, then, yeah?
Present.
Can I present?
Me.
Hold on. Sorry. Before we, next person, I want to make some comments about this sketch. So, in case somebody else has done their own, don't go and change your own now. Now is not the time to change it. So, some of the corrections for you, Fatima, in your design on your sketch is this, what's it called? Your form, I think it is very lengthy. How many questions do you have there?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay, 8 major questions apart from the optional one, right?
Yes, of your details, yes.
Okay, so here is what I think. I think you mean plus the details or apart from details?
No, minus the details.
Minus the, okay. So please zoom in on the questions part alone. I want to see, not the optional part. Okay, good, it's good. Okay, so what I think you can do is to first ask them what they want to give feedback on. So that they choose what they want to give feedback on. They may not want to give feedback on everything. It may be something that, so imagine, again, this is about you empathizing with your user. Imagine you go to a restaurant, you've paid 5,000 naira for a meal, for instance, and then after you paid such a good money for the food, you now realize that you don't like the food doesn't taste well. That's all you want to talk about. So cleanliness, so ambience, so value, that's not your point. You're just upset that the food is bad. So you'll be able to straightforward go to what you want to give feedback for. Then maybe you can ask questions after, like, do you want to give other feedback? Or you could let them choose the one they want at the top. Then you can now bring down the other ones. There's creativity. You need to be a little bit creative about how you ask the questions. The same thing if it was like somebody was rude to them and you just want to talk about that. Then, yes, then the part where you mentioned that questions, it seems like people don't want to, no question should be compulsory.
Yeah.
So you're right, but at the same time, I think that you should still make some certain questions compulsory. not compulsory per se, but depending on what they are giving feedback. For instance, if the food was bad, maybe the person wants a return on money. So you can ask them, would you, instead of just leaving the form completely optional like that, you can just say, would you like to drop your contact details so that we can reach back to you? Trying to convince them because you need their information as well. So you have to convince them. If they say no, then they can go. But if they say yes, then it should be compulsory. Do you get? Yeah,
Okay.
that's the
Well,
way. Yeah.
well, isn't that like the, and because it has to have sub menus, and because you were saying we should categorize the problems, so like it's going to have more stuff, and isn't that meant to be a simple thing, the feedback app?
Yes, it's supposed to be a very simple thing. So, okay, let me see someone else's zone, and maybe I'll make
All
my
right.
conclusion after.
Now, can I present?
Can I
Thank
present
you.
now?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, one guy right now. So
Can I
that
present,
means
ma'am?
yes, a guy. After we'll go to a
Okay.
lady.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, can everybody see this? Yes. Can you see
Yes,
my screen?
yes, we can.
Okay. So, good morning. My name is Ashaolu Damilola, and I'm doing a UX on a food feedback app. So, I and my team embarked on a research, and these are some of the findings as well as the questions that were asked. So, we got some insights while we carried out the research too, which are the fact that yes, a lot of people do respond to the questions asked in restaurants. Not a lot actually, but few are impressed and stuff. So they were really excited to want to try using the app. Thus, some of the responses that are that can be seen here. And through this, we come up with a list of ideas for what we would want to create if we're going to do a food feedback app. So after the team was done individually, I came up with a user flow which would involve the start page to the main feedback page which is needed, and some of the steps that users will carry based on analysis and observation when self being a user wants to go about getting to the app. So I did this without sorry about my sketch and my driving. So this is the start page. It will have Kilimanjaro app, and then we move straight to the feedback. Now the feedback will be a section, but in order not to make the whole thing too longer than my frame, I divided it into three places and illustrated the scroll down. So you start from the display of thank you for choosing Kilimanjaro when you first get to the feedback. Sorry, by the way, my team, we are working on Kilimanjaro restaurant. Thus, the reason for being specific about Kilimanjaro. So,
Okay.
thank you for choosing Kilimanjaro. Then, in my own form of design, I decided to start with a general rating of the service, which is how do you rate our service today? Sorry, let me zoom in. My handwriting is not that good. Which is their 5-star. I'll be using a 5-star rating actually for my own app, which is poor, fair, good, very good, and excellent. Then if you scroll down, you also see another rating for other services or the following services. Because it's a food feedback app, I decided to start with food quality. And then which food did you eat? There will be a drop-down menu for all the foods that the Kilimanjaro is selling. So when the customer chooses the one that he or she procured that day, you give it a rating, which will let us know
Okay.
whether, which will give us a general understanding of how they felt. Then there are 3 other questions, which is cleanliness, order time, and customer services. Then when he or she scrolls down, he gets an add comment section where he'll be able to give us much more feedback. Then there is an option for email, phone number, and then another option for click if they want to receive updates and notifications in their mail, then submit feedback. So that's a total summary of all I did
Okay.
for my research. Thank you.
Okay. So really good. Good. First observation. I like this board. Really good job. I like how it's colorful and how it looks very organized. This is very impressive. So I have a question. Did you guys do this thing separately or together? Does this board belong to more than one person?
Yeah, the first 1 to 3, the first 4 parts, that's from app creation idea. That's where the teamwork stopped. From user flow to wire flow, I came up with, would I say, based on, you told us to go to Google to go and research what user flow is. And I also found out that the sketches I said we should put into our presentation is sometimes called or known to some researchers as wire flow, showing in detail and stuff. So this user flow and wire flow is personal. App creation ideas, insights, and findings is the team effort. So there are some people from Kilimanjaro where we had a shared board where you would see almost similar findings as well as insights now. But the remaining 2 is individual. It's personal.
Okay, good, good. Okay, so this is what I want to say first about the teamwork. I need you guys to present this and to, not just to present, I need you guys to work on this like as if it is your project, you.
Okay.
Because that was why, okay, just a moment. That was why from the beginning, you were to do your, what's it called? Your research was individual. Every single thing you did, getting your findings was individual. There are only 2 parts that I expect to have been group work. That's the insights. That's where you guys, I don't know, you might have done that as group work or not. That could have been done alone for the sake of this project. Then the only part I told you guys to do alone was the ideas, coming up with ideas so that you can do this very, very quickly. So that's the first thing. So the reason I'm talking about this is because Michael was talking about submitting your portfolio for companies, specifically Rovjana.
Okay.
So
Mark, can I say something?
No, hold on, please. So if that's the case, if you're going to be submitting your portfolio, then it is not a bad thing to have done your project with other people, but you need to be very clear on what part you did yourself, because when you submit your portfolio, you don't have the chance to speak for your portfolio. So
Yes.
you can, right here on Miro, you can just note it down that this part was done as a group effort. So maybe on the ideas part, you can just note it down that I brainstormed with my team to come up with possible solutions. You can just write it out there. Do you understand?
Okay.
You can even write maybe just at the whole bottom, or maybe at the top, just across the whole top or across the whole bottom. You can say, yeah, somewhere up, or maybe by the side, something very bold. You can specify that this whole research work up until here has been done completely by me, except this part. You can now mention the part where it was done as group work. This applies to everybody. So it is very important for you to clearly state your involvement in the project. It is very important. So what do you want to say?
I think basically, sorry, there's a bar in my mouth. Basically, you said what I wanted to say too, but I was going to say this is for class presentation. The one I was going to put in my portfolio that I kind of did when I was trying to put it inside my other portfolio that I created for graphic design. I sort of put it in the presentation by the side that from findings to app creation idea was a brainstorm. Then the user flow and the wire flow was an individual effort, which might later on be done as a group to create an app.
Okay.
That's what
Okay. Guys, I'll put off my video right now because everywhere is just dark. You can't see my face anyway. Okay. So, all right. But what I'm saying, I remember saying yesterday that your UX, what's it called? Your UX portfolio is different from other types of portfolio. how
Oh, yeah.
this is done, how you've clearly stated the whole process out here in my room. It's a really good way of showing your portfolio. I like the way you've put out your thoughts. Your thoughts. If this is a personal work, good. If it's group work, also good. So just try to be clear on your involvement. That's the important thing. You can put it on a sticky note, a different color. That's good. So good work. Good work. So when you want to share your portfolio, just go to share, get a link, and you send it to whoever it is. On reading this whole process, they will get the whole point. When we go ahead, the next phase now after doing our sketch is to do our wireframe. But I want you guys to still do your wireframe. You must do your wireframe of your sketch. That's just black and white, laying it out so that if you wanted to share your wireframe, maybe if it was just a UI job you wanted to apply for, you just share your wireframe and your high fidelity, your low fidelity and high fidelity directly with the employer or recruiter, whichever it is. So do you guys get what I mean? Does everybody get what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
good. Okay, so
Yes, ma'am. I do. But does that mean everybody understands my role?
does that mean that what?
Everybody understands my
You
role.
mean like
your employee
recruiters
or
or-
the employer? Yeah.
Well, it is in simple English. It is like it's like laying out your thoughts in a document. It has nothing to do with my role or not. It's just like a whiteboard you're sharing with somebody. So if you had made it very, very clear, like very, very clear all your thoughts, then it's fine. This is actually a good way of documenting. It's nothing fancy. The other way of doing it is you could go ahead and design your whole portfolio, maybe in Figma, everything page by page. The way you guys have done it, like one section for insight, one section for findings, ideas. You could have done it on separate designs on Figma, then put it all together and upload it to say Dribble or Behance or whatsoever. So there are different ways of doing it, but this right here is good. Some people even do their create their portfolio on Medium, the writing tool. So this is called a case study. A case study is basically where you take a problem and turn it to solution and show how you came about the solution. So case studies can be done in different ways. Please give me a moment, guys.
So, hello everyone. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So,
Yes, sir, we can.
while Miss Grace is coming back, so what I want you guys to do is, so your UI designs, the ones you've done before, not UX this time around. So your UI designs, add it to your portfolio, like your graphic design portfolio. Then you can now create another page and title the page. The title of the app you're working on is Food Ordering App, right? Or is it Feedback App?
Food ordering.
Okay, Food Ordering
Feedback.
App.
No, it's feedback.
Okay, I'm back, guys.
Okay.
What's up? Are you guys discussing something I need to know?
Yeah, so I was just passing an information just while you were away. So
Okay.
so add your UI designs to your portfolio, then create a different page and title it Feedback App. So Feedback App, you can give it a bracket in the front, say UX. Just make it stylish, just so that the person looking at your portfolio will know that this is a UX project. Then you add the link to your, just hold on please. Then you add the link to your Miro board there. So when you're adding the link, just make sure you make it an hyperlink. Don't just type a URL there that won't link anywhere, right? So that's all from my end. Thank you.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, that's cool. Okay, thank you. You guys that your videos are on, please put it off. It's really distracting, especially Jeremiah. That I think your wife or your girlfriend is walking up and down your background. Or okay. Yeah. So let's see. Okay, so this is good. Yeah, well done. Don't make it in cap. See, guys, don't be writing your words in capital letters. Capital letters don't speak really nicely. Try to make like that one you wrote up there now. UX design for no. Instead, write it in small letters and small in what they call it, sentence casing. Yeah, you can do that later. I just want to tell you. So good, well done. So next person.
Let me stop sharing.
Please, before next person.
I want to share my screen.
Yeah, hold on, sorry. This place where you wrote Damilola, that's your title. The title. It's not Damilola somebody frame. Oh no. Write the name of the project.
Okay, I'll do that, man. Thank you.
The fact that they clicked on your link, they already know it is you.
Yeah, thank you.
Change all the Damilola and everything. Thank you. Okay, yes, please. That lady, share your screen.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay, Kudirat.
Hey.
Sorry, just before she shares her screen.
So Dami and I are in the same group.
Okay. Who wanted to share their screen just now?
It's me, Kudirat.
Okay.
So Dami and I are in the same group, so I won't be sharing our group work.
You will share everything.
You already shared it, so I'm going to share the one I did personally.
You will share everything. Everything is your work.
I'm using my phone. I don't think it's...
Hold on.
Contain
hold on.
Group work. Okay, ma'am.
Madam, please listen to me. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so what I'm telling you is that you will share the whole thing. Everything is your work. Anyone, you will now state your involvement in the project. You state it on that particular frame.
Okay, ma'am.
That's a group work. So everything must be in your portfolio. If not, how do you arrive at your user flow if you didn't do research or somebody didn't give you research? Like, it makes no sense. There's a break already in transmission. The link that Micah is asking you guys to send now or to put in your portfolio, when they click on the link, how does it make sense to the person that is looking at it? It will make sense now. So yeah, you have to show everything. So do you have everything on your you are saying you're using a phone so it won't show? What's that about?
Okay, ma'am.
You said it won't show on your phone. What's that about?
Okay.
I think she's breaking up. I think Kudirat is breaking up.
It's large. I don't know if it's contain, but let me see if
Okay, sorry, ma'am. Everyone attendance has been shared.
Okay. I didn't hear you, Raymond.
Okay, I was saying that the attendance has been shared.
Okay, guys. Attendance has been shared. Yes, Priscilla, please share your screen. Go on. Kudirat to come back.
Okay, I want to view the attendance. So
wait, Joe. Wait. Next person.
Can I go?
Let me
Okay,
share
let me
it.
go. Let me go ahead and share mine.
I can hear different voices. Who is talking to me?
And Anaka.
Anaka, you can share. Anaka, you can share. When you're done, I'll share, please.
Okay. Sorry, Mrs. Grace.
Yes.
Please, so that because it was a joint work. That was why he named it his name. So that when you're referring to it. So now, what we are going to drop in our portfolio, do you think we should create a new one and just do everything properly?
I don't know. The work that I sent to people went to go and modify it. The only thing I said we should do together was coming up with ideas. So now on, I don't know if I would say it concerns me or not concern me. What you people are creating is supposed to be your portfolio. It's yours, your work. So if you need to edit your board, and you have to do that maybe during your break time. You guys will not have break today, yeah? Because you have to send your link and update your portfolio before 3 o'clock. That's before we end, well, before the end of class. So you see how much work you guys have now.
Okay.
So who wants to share their
I'd
screen?
like to share. I'd like to
I'm
share.
sharing my screen.
Okay, is that Anaka?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, go on. After that would be, I don't know whose voice that was. I said they would like to share.
Yes, the data. When she's done, I'll
Yeah.
go.
Okay, when she's done, okay.
So
Ma,
basically,
I said I was,
the front
my
page.
sister was going to share.
You said what?
I thought I was going to share Anaka.
Okay, well, it's one girl, one guy, one girl. That's how we're doing it now. So after Anaka, it has to be a guy. Yeah.
All right.
Okay.
Okay, so because I don't have the upgraded version of Miro, I had to save to PDF and then do the presentation. And then the write-ups were not really showing, so I had to like snap each section one after the other so I can explain and people can see when I'm presenting also. So these were the research questions.
We can't see your screen yet though.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. So you guys have been silent in class since last week because we have 105 people in class. And I don't think it's more than 10 people. It's not more than 10 people that have been speaking.
So Miss Grace, I'm going to call someone that doesn't speak frequently.
Hey. Maybe please, when this lady is done, we need to call some people out. Because I've told you guys over and over again, you're not doing yourself any favor by being quiet in class. You're not doing me a favor, you're not doing me a favor.
Actually, there is someone's portfolio I'm already looking forward to getting in the email. So you can just keep being quiet, but it's fine. I mean, I'm even going to call you out. So after Anaka, Ayodele Towolawi, you share your screen.
Okay, that's very good.
Can you see my screen now?
No, not yet. It's not yet showing. Not yet showing. Are you having some internet issues?
No, my internet is okay.
Okay, it's showing
Okay,
now.
it's coming up.
It's trying to come up,
Very
yeah.
good. We've seen it.
Okay.
I can see your screen now. Okay, she's a Mac user.
Yeah,
All
she
right.
is a Mac user. That's our people.
So basically, this is the front cover of my presentation.
Oh, by the way, this is really good. Oh my gosh, I'm already like I'm proud of my students. You're doing well.
I mean, like, she's really doing well. Like,
You're doing well.
nice.
You're doing well. I think I might bring you on a project when we are done. Maybe we'll work together. Go on.
Yay!
Okay.
Because I don't have the upgraded version of Miro, I couldn't save or share. They were asking me to upgrade. So I had
Okay, you could have just copied this frame by frame instead of everything being together like this.
Yes,
just copy them frame by frame.
Yes,
okay, good.
Yes,
oh, that's good. Go on. That's good.
Okay, so I first of all snapped the entire
all right board,
and then I went to straight to the research questions so that everybody could see, because the board is too small for people to be able to read and understand what is there. So I took them one after the other, so anybody looking at it can be able to read the research questions and know what I'm talking about. And then the next slide is the findings and answers to research questions. We were able to get the findings together as a team and put them in another board. And then for the insights, we moved.
Okay, hold on. I want to stop you right now so that you start your presentation all over again. Number one, you didn't introduce yourself. Number two, you didn't tell us what problem you were solving. Number three, you didn't walk us through. You didn't tell us the story before you started showing us. So as you're scrolling, you have to be telling us the story. Carry us along. Presentation is storytelling. Start again.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, my name is Anaka Gabriel. This is my Miro presentation for food feedback app, and we are working on a restaurant called Kilimanjaro.
Okay.
Yeah. So now the issue with Kilimanjaro, the problem we are trying to solve at Kilimanjaro is that a lot of people go there to eat and just walk out. Some come back, some never come back. So the management is not able to know if there's anything they are doing right or wrong. So they have employed us to carry out a research to let them know or to enlighten them about their own services. And because they want to know about their services, the best way to go about it is to do a feedback app. And before doing the feedback app, we need to first of all research. After researching, we can now go ahead to get the findings and then get insights, then go ahead to create ideas and then show the client how the user flow is going to be, then show them sketches, and then the final presentation would be, okay, we'll also provide a wireframe before we now go forward to do the main work, which is a UI design in Figma, and now do the presentation for the customer or the client to see, and then we'll give it to a developer to develop it.
Okay, so let me.
So basically, from our research,
let me quickly correct you on some things before you go ahead. You're doing well so far. So you need when you're talking about your research, it needs to be in past tense. So you say we researched on this problem, which is okay. So you say, "Hi, my name is Anaka Gabriel. I with my team found out that there's a problem with Kilimanjaro restaurants wherein they have issues with getting feedback. So they have a situation where they think they have satisfied customers, but they are not sure because there's no way of knowing what their customers feel about their services. So that's the problem we are trying to solve, or that's the problem I am trying to solve. Depends on how you're trying to present your project. So during our research, we discovered that we can now mention the issues we discovered. So after our research, you can now while you are saying that, you will have scrolled to the research. Some of the questions that we asked them were this, and this, and then quickly scroll to your analysis, because you don't spend time telling us too much story about your research. You quickly scroll to your analysis that then we discovered this. Then you scroll again. As a result of that, these were some of the ideas that came up with from our research. Then you scroll. You understand what I'm trying to say? So quickly, you should be able to present your whole idea in say 2 or 3 minutes, fast, and you're done. So second correction I want to make is when you said, so we'll now, when we are done with all this, we'll now go to the main work, which is, I have problem with that statement. Everything you have done up until now is main work. When you do your sketch is main work, your UI design, your low fidelity you still do, main work, high fidelity, main work. So I have a problem with saying, when you are done now, you go to the main work in Figma. No. I've told you guys before that I have a colleague, a good colleague or colleague of mine. All she does is UX research. She's a UX researcher. That's her title. She does not do more than that. So all these things you guys did on Miro, you go out to the field, you do research, and you come back, come and analyze it on the whiteboard, bring insights. That's where her job ends. And she will submit this kind of thing. That is exactly where we stopped right now. It's the end of somebody's job. I'm telling you, she's getting good money for it. So that is somebody's main work. Now you can finish your work as a researcher and hand it over to the UI designer, who will now work on your sketches, or maybe you are done up to wireframe, depends. Will now act on your sketches or your wireframe and convert it to high fidelity, which is the one you were calling main. Then so that's actually the job of another person in the whole UX design flow, which is called the UI designer. So this part you guys have done is the job of a UX researcher. So if it is something you're actually interested in, which is researching on user experience problems, talking to people, that is a field on its own, and some people are making a good living of it. Meanwhile, the next one we are going to be doing from today is like based on you guys' assignment and everything, it's going to be on UI design. So you guys will be updating.
Hello.
Ah, thank God, thank God.
Hi.
I think it's
Your
I thought it
so
was my network.
go on now.
I'm on this rain, mad.
Okay, Anaka, you can go on.
Okay. Okay, so these are some of the research questions we came up with, and then we're able to get some findings from the research questions and grouped them into another board. And then from that board, we were able to get insights. We got people that answered the same or almost the same in almost the same way, and then group them together in order to be able to get ideas for the research. So now, after doing that, these are the list of ideas. But now, what is the app? What would the app have? These are the ideas that we had for the app.
Okay.
Which was welcome page, sign in, sign up, comment box, star rating and rating reviews, feedback and complaint section, live chat with a customer care agent, menu, and then for the under the menu we had popular and then top for the week. Then we had the other section, cart and payment service, and then checkout or logout.
Okay, so you guys, you're actually working on a full food app, which would include the feedback part and also include ordering a new food. Is that right?
No, I added that to mine so that it will be like if you are coming to a review, you will do a review. If you are coming to just eat, there's a way I did the user.
Okay, sure. The flow chart.
So the flow chart, as you are coming in, you go to welcome. Under welcome, you will see sign up and sign in. Now, if you are just coming into it, you go straight to the menu and then go to top of the week or popular, and then go to orders and payments and checkout. But now, if you have a complaint, you go to home page, comment box. Under comment box, there is star ratings and written reviews. Then there's also feedback and complaints if you have a complaint. If you have a complaint, there's a connecting line to talk live with the customer care service, or to just give feedback or drop your complaint, or just rate or give reviews, and then you end. So you can do both on this food app, on this feedback app, according to my user flow chart.
Okay, so first, I really like that you've gone ahead to think about this part. This is really good on your part. So what I would say is that your flow chart is it's not using the right symbols. So when you use this diamond, there's one that you put welcome page in. That is a decision. That's for decisions. So if the user needs to make a decision, is when you use that shape. But when you use the rectangle, that's a regular flow. So for instance, a decision could have been if the person wants to choose to do a live chat or whether they want to just comment. That's a decision. A decision could be, does the person want to just order food, or the person wants to go straight into a complaint? So that's a decision. I hope you get what I mean. So you may have to slightly reduce this user flow chart so that it actually tells the story you're trying to pass across. But I like that you included the food, the menu part. That was really good. Go on.
Okay, so these are like the sketches of how the app would look like.
Okay. So what am I looking at?
So basically what I'm looking at here, the The app in the middle.
The screen in the middle.
Yes, sorry, the screen in the middle channels or introduces you to every other screen here. So now from this screen in the middle, that's where the welcome page and the logo comes when you click on the app. Then
so everybody, that's actually called a splash screen. So use the right terms when you're referring to stuff. So that's called a splash screen. So that screen that just shows a logo, maybe for like 2 seconds or something, like I think it was Kudirat or Fatima that was showing something. That's called a splash screen. So go on.
Okay. So the splash screen like introduces you to every other page here. So when you come on the splash screen, you either go into the feedback, comments, complaint side, or you go to the ordering or buying and checking out side. So now,
how does the user make that decision? What do I click on as a user that will make me to make that decision?
There are 2 lines down here. After the logo, there are 2 lines.
Okay.
Asking you, do you want to order or you want to drop a comment and make yes, ma'am.
Okay, go on. That's good.
So if you say you want to order, it takes you to the right side. And if you say you want to make a comment or complaint or talk to somebody, it takes you to the left side.
Okay.
So now, if you want to order, you just go straight here, order, check the menu you have and check out. But now, if you want to make a complaint or you are not sure if the food is nice and all that, you just want to check people's reviews and all that before you go ahead to order. By you clicking on this side to read the reviews and read people's comments and ratings will determine whether you buy the food from this other side or not. If not, you check out here and leave also.
Okay, good. I like what you've done here, where you're giving the user the chance to make their choice. Basically, it's good. So what I want to say about these sketches is, you see how you have to explain to us so much because you didn't just write the actual words. So this is a good, so the time when you use, this is actually helpful, but you only use this kind of screens, this kind of designs, this kind of sketches you've done when you are focusing just on layouts. But when you are focusing on the content as well as layout, that is what you actually are communicating, then you need to be a little bit specific and write the actual words. Like those lines you said below, I didn't know, I thought they were just a design. I didn't know that it was text. And you didn't tell me, you didn't write there what the text is. So next time you're doing sketches like this, you might have to redo your sketch, by the way, but put this by the side. This is really good. So maybe when you're redoing it, just put this by the side and on the right-hand side, or maybe the next page, you can now write the one that is specifically saying what is there. This is good. So this is now for everybody. If you're making changes to your sketches, it's something called iteration. So iteration is where you've done the first sketch or design or whatsoever. Then based on feedback, like the ones I'm giving you guys, then you now make your change. So anytime you are doing your presentation, you have to put your iteration 1, iteration 2. If you make 20 iterations, you put it there. It just shows that you're learning from your users, you're receiving users' feedback, and you're actually taking into account. That's the idea behind the iterations. Okay, so go on. Let's quickly round this up.
Okay, so that's basically all.
Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Anaka. This is really good. This is really good. Honestly, I'm proud of you. Okay. Micah said he was calling somebody's name. Who's that person? Let me find that person's name again. I was looking at it earlier. Ayodele Towo Lawi. That was the person's name. It's the person in class.
Ayodele Towo Lawi.
Is deliberately remaining mute too. Well,
Okay, Moturayo, please remove him from the class. Okay.
Yep. Okay. So if you are not going to participate in the class, then there's no point you being here. Nobody's going to make judgments, right? I don't see why you would be quiet where you're trying to learn. There's no point to that. So please, guys, communicate. It's for your own good. So who wants to present now?
I have a question.
I want to go.
Okay, okay.
No,
Before
it's just
you
a
go,
question.
yes, what's your question?
Please, the girl that just finished presenting, she included ordering food from a feedback app. Like, does it work that way?
Okay, so I like what she did, which is what I was saying. I like the fact that she just included that section, which is okay. So imagine this situation, right? I log into an app, then I just want to give my feedback. But then let's imagine, I think that would actually work more for solutions like maybe Jumia food that you have to order online. But if it's a walk-in restaurant, that might not work. Okay, but anyway, any which way, even if I get home, by the time I get home, and then I'm like, I want to give feedback for the service, even if it was a walk-in restaurant, I want to give feedback. So I finished giving my feedback. But then there's an option of, oh, would you like to order something? Then that's really good because I can easily just click on that option and order food if I was satisfied, if it was a positive feedback that I wanted to give originally. Or if it is that I want to give my actual feedback and I click on it and I'm seeing reviews of what other people have said. I like that thinking actually. So it's not compulsory. It's actually outside the scope of this project. And that's where you look at the time you have. Is this something I can actually work on? It's a really good idea. Is this something I can work on with the resources I have, time, money, whatsoever? What they call scoping of work. It's left to your own. It's left to you actually. Okay. So this lady has been saying she wants to present since. Please present.
Okay, all right.
Go after.
This is Jedaida Akuno.
Jedaida, because I know it was you, but I wasn't seeing your names. It's showing Freda
Okay.
Prasad.
Yeah, actually, that's what I
sorry.
wanted to call. Was it like
Alright,
okay? Okay, that Jedaida. Okay.
Yeah, this is she. Okay, please hold.
Yeah, that guy, sorry, that guy that said he wanted to go. You did not talk when I asked for guys to talk. So please let our lady present, and after is you.
Okay.
Sorry for interrupting. Please,
Yeah,
please, Mr. Micah, please, can you hear me?
he can hear you.
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you.
Yes, sir. Please, I was
Please, can you see
presenting while
my
the attendance was
screen?
posted. Please, can you resend me, please?
Sorry, I didn't get
that's
you. I didn't get you.
I was doing my presentation while the attendance was posted. Please, can you resend it to me, please?
Okay, I would.
It's
I
closed.
would.
Thank you, sir.
All right.
Okay, Jedaida.
Okay.
Go on.
So based on the research, based on my research questions, I pulled everything together. I was able to do for 4
Correction I
participants.
made. Hold on. The same correction I have been making over and over again. Number one, you introduce yourself. Then you tell us what problem you are trying
Sorry.
to solve. Yes, you tell us the problem
Okay,
you are
sorry.
trying to solve. Then before you tell us the
My
research.
name is my name is Jedaida Akuno, and I'm working with the Domino's Group. We realized Domino's is a pizza restaurant which doesn't have very good feedback system. So we'd like to know from customers what exactly their pain points are. We'll take note of that, and then we can design an app, either as a standalone app or an in-app feature in the already existing food ordering app they have. So that's the problem, and that's the solution we want to present. So I interviewed 5 participants, but actually I got the last response today and I could not pull that in. So this is what they thought. They all had different pain points. They all had things they were not very okay with. So from doing that, I managed to find themes and then patterns. So some of them thought the apps were not detailed enough. Some also thought the interface was not very good looking and needed to be simple. Other people would really like to use the app. People thought the delivery time. There were different opinions on why they really didn't like the app. So my impression was that they wanted. No, Domino's.
Oh, sorry, Domino's app. Oh, okay. Oh, Domino's has an app.
Yes. Yes. Actually, I don't think. Well, in Ghana we don't have one. So I looked out and I found one for I think Pakistan or something. I like that one.
Domino's has an app, but
They
it's
have
really
an app in
bad.
Nigeria.
Really
Yeah.
bad.
That's
Yeah.
an app. They have an app.
But it's really- I've never successfully done something on that app.
Okay, I checked out the website though, but I know the app. So I downloaded an app for another country just to have a feel of it. So my design idea was that everyone.
I'd like to interrupt you. I'm sorry for interrupting you, but while you're talking, I'd like to make corrections immediately so that I won't forget. So next time when you're doing a presentation, it would be nice if you show the picture of what you saw. So next time you do a screenshot and just paste it by the side. Do you get that? So go on, so that the person can understand the story. Go on.
Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. So my design ideas from every response I received was people would like to have something that's simple, and they'd also like to have real-time feedback or response instead of just submitting a response and not hearing back from the team. Because in the research question, I had an option that asked whether a pain point was no quantifiable results. So I mean, you give a feedback and then since that's the end of it. So in my user flow, I decided to just stick to 3 points. So I mean, entry, action, and then success. So I heard you say something about splash page. I think this is it. So for the entry points, welcome to. I brainstormed with a team member, Khalid, and then decided that okay, instead of saying this is a Domino's feedback app, we just call it Hi Domino's, and something catchy, something trendy and nice. So from there, I didn't include a login or sign up because people may want to do that anonymously. So this is my sketch for the action page. So I have a frame where I intended to put probably a slide of pizza saying, okay, hello there, what would you like us to know? Or thank you, welcome, let us know what you think. And then there's a rating underneath. Also, if there are other things the person would like to add, if they want you to contact them, there's a yes and no option. So for yes, you can ask for their contact details, which is probably a name and contact number. And then if it's no, you just move to the next page, which is a success page. So I thought of probably an animation, a thumbs up animation from a pizza slice, and then a success to indicate, okay, it's gone through. And then you can either go back to the next page for navigation if you had something to add again, or you can exit the page. So this is my design. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you. I like your presentation. It was it actually included stuff I had been saying, which was you talking about your involvement in the project and how you work with other people. I like how you mentioned or you work with brainstormed with a team member. That was really good. Then I like what you've done. I like how you already put in your sketch the question of would you like to drop your contact details. That was really good. So asking that question will help communication. So while we're at it, I want to say that you guys should try to make your design very personal in communication. So instead of saying things like titling that maybe your contact details section, just saying contact details. It sounds boring and sounds impersonal. You can ask a question. Yeah, you can ask a question like, would you like to, just like you did. So that's good. Then also, even at the beginning, just basically try to be more conversational. People tend to enjoy using apps that are more conversational than the ones that just slap words at them. Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Well
much.
done. Well done. Okay, I think Femi wanted to present something.
I noticed a lot of people are
Okay, yes, ma'am.
leaving the class. I don't know why. Is it
I think the
network?
internet, the rain is actually affecting a lot of people. They've been complaining since.
Okay.
Can I go on now?
You can go
Yes.
on.
Go on now.
Yes.
Battery is on screen.
Oluwapelumi is just joining. You just joined.
So I'm using the microphone for my phone.
Okay.
And joining with the laptop to share the screen.
Oh, okay. So why didn't you just use your laptop? Why are you using two devices?
Maybe I can start from here. I want to show the board from the laptop.
Sorry, can everyone see this?
It's not very clear.
Sorry
Yeah.
to can everyone see this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can you see this title page? Can you see how this looks? So when you are presenting on Friday, I said this when you were presenting for graphics design. I don't want to see a presentation that doesn't have the way this is arranged. This shows that this person has an idea, a knowledge of design. So there's a difference between someone that is just doing PowerPoint and the difference between someone that has design knowledge. All right. So let these kind of things, let it show in your presentations on Friday. Thank you. Please continue, Femi.
Thanks, sir. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Oluwafemi Olubalubi. I am a graphics and UX designer. And this is a research I carried out recently on restaurants, Krispy Kreme in particular. They have customers who access their products, their services, and they don't really have it.
Femi, your voice is quite low. I can barely hear you. I'm guessing it's the same for everyone.
So is it fine now?
Yeah, it's better now. You sound like you're a bit far from your gadget or phone or something.
Okay. Again, I am currently working on a research for Krispy Kreme to find out how their customers will be leaving feedbacks for them when they purchase their products, because that has not been easy to do in the past. So here are some of the survey questions I used.
Okay.
So to get the kind of people who purchase their products and how often they use it. And
okay.
There are some of the questions to know if people like putting their names on feedbacks or they just want to do it anonymously. I got most response that choose the third option, that they don't really care about it. So the name can either show or not. And I also asked the current channel they use to give their feedback. And most people said they will report to the management.
Okay.
And okay, the format they would like to use if they were to like give a feedback, and most people said they are going to like meet one-on-one with the manager. So these are the general responses, some of which I've mentioned right now.
Okay, so before you continue, for everyone that used survey, in particular Google Forms, for instance, there's that page that shows your analytics. It's a nice thing to add it, say, immediately after you show your survey questions, just before you start doing your analysis on, before you start doing your analysis on Miro. So it's a good thing to show that, so that for those that like very graphical stuff, they could see that. Do you guys get what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Okay, go on.
Right. So, here are some of the common responses, and from these common responses, I drew out the insights. So I was able to, sorry, I worked with some of my team members, Olakunle questions, the survey questions, and also like get responses.
Okay.
I just wanted to drop that. Okay, so from these common responses, these were the things I was able to draw out.
Wait.
There are more huge.
Wait, scroll back to that your sticky notes, the page before this one. Did I see that you wrote team 7, team something, team 16? What is that?
I did not know what to name it.
Yeah, the one that groups it now. So for let's give me feedback. Let's give me. Why would you say? Wait. No, come on, guy. If everybody is saying let's give me feedback, let's give me feedback. That's not something to group together now. That's the same feedback from everybody. That's just one thing.
Oh wow.
Oh, your battery, is there no light?
My laptop is still off for.
There's no light?
It's still go off now.
Okay, just quickly go through it. Go through it. Go on, just scroll down quickly. Let's see your, scroll down to your, I like your insight, I already read it. Scroll down to your, your sketch.
Okay, thank you. This is sketch. So the first screen, welcome screen was splash screen. So you can either continue as a guest or sign up.
I really like this.
This is sign up page. Thank you, ma. So this page is not very visible. As downvotes, this is downvotes, this is upvotes. So that's just showing the number of good reviews on the whole system, the feedback system.
Oh wow! Oh my God, that's so good. Wait first, let me take in the moments. Wait first, let me take in the moments. Oh my God, that's a really good feature. That's a really good feature. Having like an insight of, so that the person can know how much good votes we have, how much down votes, so that they can know that generally this is a bad company or generally this is a good company. So go on, go on.
Okay, so and these are the like menus, and so this menu title, the picture of the menu, and under it as well, the upvote and downvote of that particular menu or item. So this is another item or menu, another one. So this is a chat icon. Like once you click on it, it takes you directly to chat with the representative from the company, like the hierarchy personnel.
Yeah.
So under here, I have my menu.
Bottom navigation. Yeah.
The home and the reviews you've given. Yeah. I don't know what will be here yet. Then settings.
Yeah, if you have only 3, it's fine. So, get rid of it, the other one. So it's cool.
Okay. Okay. So here is the. So once you click, you want to review anything. This is the page that opens up.
Okay. So what text do you? What information are you collecting?
So
Okay, just tell us what information. No problem. Tell us what information you had there. I saw it was very short.
Yes, the image of the product pops up. Then you can. There's a text feed for you to type your review. There is also an option to upload an image. Maybe the thing is not like the donuts now. Maybe it was not add very well or soft very well, something like that. And there's also an option to upload a video, like your reaction while eating it. There's also a video, an option to upload a video.
Okay. So what was that first?
Post your.
What was that first image you had at the top? What was that for?
So that's the image of the product you opened.
But where will the picture come from? Who will enter that information?
No, that is from the, there is a thumbnail in that home page. There is a thumbnail of that item. So when you open it, it becomes bigger and show it on top. Then the name under it.
Okay. All right.
Let me try and share the image from my phone. Maybe it's going to be. Present screen.
Okay, you know what? I quickly need to
Yes, ma'am.
I need to quickly do something. But if there are some people here that have not done their, what's it called? That have not finished their Miro, whatever, quickly get to it, like right now, because Mr. Micah can call anybody. And I'm still going to do some presentations up until, but we still have like 30 more minutes that we're going to still be doing presentation. But I want you guys to quickly get to it. For those that need to make changes to their, what do you call it, your sketches, you do an iteration, do a second iteration, sketch it right now on a paper, take a picture. Do you guys get what I'm trying to say? I want you guys to learn from the feedback. I don't want to keep on doing review and review and review. Meanwhile, you guys have not actually put into account stuff we have talked about. This part, we are spending a lot of time on it because it's it's a foundation for everything to come. So do you guys get what I'm saying you should do? Somebody's answering you. It's okay.
Hello.
Yes, we get you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. All right, so I'm giving you guys let's say 15 minutes. I'm giving you guys 15 minutes for that. By 11:45, that's 15 minutes time. I'll get back to you guys. I'll look at it. Then we'll do another 15 minutes review before you guys take a break by 12. So just 15 minutes. Get on with it, guys.
Hello, Mr. Mike, please, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm here. I had to receive a call.
Yes, sir. It's still showing me the same thing. It's showing closed.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'm going to check because I actually allowed you to fill earlier, and I saw that someone filled, so I thought you were the one to fill. Let me check.
Okay, sir.
Just hold on. I'll send you a message on Telegram.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
You're welcome. Is it because of tidy up your work that some people are leaving? Okay.
Hello, sir.
Yes, ma, I can hear you.
Hello, sir.
Hello, ma.
Okay, sir, it's Boma. I wanted to confirm something from you. My phone had a little fault, so I had to switch to another phone, and I'm using a different email. So my signature, I snapped it instead of in new. I could not remove. I want to know if it will really affect my attendance.
So what you are saying is, you have your signature on the document, on the
Yes,
attendance, but you didn't rename it.
yes,
Why didn't you rename it?
yes, and I used a different
Why didn't you rename it? You should. I
phone I'm
mean, so the
using
thing
to
is,
log
you know,
in my.
the thing is, so there's a team that is working on design school, and it's not me that is working on the attendance, right? I get reports and I get to give some comments and notes on to the person that is working on it. Do you understand? So it's not like I'm always there. So if I was the one doing it, I mean, I could have said, okay, let me note it down, right? But so the thing, well, I'll just take note of that and share with the guy working on it.
Okay,
So,
sir. Thank you. I'm done.
Thank you, sir.
okay.
Thank you, sir.
Those people that just filled attendance, apart from Manaka Gabriel, don't worry. I won't say nothing, but we'll be all right. Let me see. So that you just know that I can see your name. Let me call you out. Okay, I can see 110 here. Alright, I don't need to call you, but don't worry. Young, are you there? Young, are you there?
Hello, Mr. Michael. Hello, Mr. Michael.
I think he left for a bit. I think.
Okay. I wanted to ask, did he mention the deadline for sending that mail to the email? That would be then portfolio stuff.
3 p.m. today. 3
I think he
p.m.
mentioned 3 p.m. today.
p.m. today. 3 p.m.
Okay, thanks.
We can't hear you.
Your network is bad, though, Young. Your network is very bad. It's cracking.
It's actually terrible. You can't even hear anything you're saying.
Well,
Young, change network.
They can hear you.
Change network. This man, don't struggle with network. Nigerian network, no nice.
Alpha, guys, I see the house is quiet. I think it's a good thing. What's going on? You guys are not on break. Oh. This one I'm seeing 79 people. It's not a break. Oh.
Man, actually, the network is bad, man. So even me myself, I've left once. People are just leaving and coming.
Wow.
I've been fighting with network since.
Wow. Thank God this session is being recorded. So and it's a good thing that Google will allow you guys to get this recording. So I'm sure if you guys ask Mr. Micah and Moturayo, they should be able to send you guys the link, I mean. So it's a good thing for this one. Sorry about that, people. So Alpha, do you guys have any questions? Anything I can help you guys with? Open to questions now before we continue presentation. Okay, please speak louder so that we can hear you.
Okay. Can you hear me loud now?
Yes, it's better.
Okay. I just wanted to ask, like, this feedback of a thing. You know, there are some set of people that, like, they don't even really have a good, like, they don't have a feedback to give, or probably, they don't really, they just use the app, like, I don't know how to put it now, like, they don't really have any good thing to say. They just take the app and send some kind of information that is not really big. I mean, being in Nigerian app.
I didn't hear you. As in, your voice is very, very low.
Okay, how about now?
Well, yeah, it's better now. Go on.
Okay, what I'm saying is that the application, is there a way we can design it in such a way that it will involve people using it anyhow? I mean, there are some people, they don't really have a feedback per se. I mean, something, just try to, like, you know, how will I put it now? Criticize a particular restaurant of what they did not do. Are you getting me?
I'm not sure I got your question. I heard what you said, but what exactly is the question?
Hello, ma. I don't know. Maybe I can help him.
Okay, please help out.
Thank you.
Okay. He was actually saying, I think that was one thing I was asking the other. I profiled the solution to. He was saying, is there a way? This is Nigeria, where anyone can just pick up, just go to an app and just give irrelevant, what's it called, feedback. So is there a way that one can regulate it? So that nobody just, because of you have, what's it called, you have data, you can download the app for free and then you can just pop in and just say whatever you want to say.
Okay.
Exactly. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a really good question. So it's a valid concern that people can try to, especially if it's like a competitor competing their products. Maybe the competitors will hire people that go and say rubbish so that they can badmouth that brand. So it's a valid concern, which is something that should be put into account in your research. So it's actually left to you guys to come up with a solution, something that could curb it. So what you could do to come up with such a solution is to do a research on how do companies collect feedback. So the companies don't necessarily have to be restaurants. They could be e-commerce, which have kind of perfected the act of collecting feedback. Maybe Amazon. So you can see how they actually collect feedbacks that it doesn't ruin their business. Do they actually do they have a situation where people give their feedback, but they scrutinize the feedback before they allow other people to see it? Or do they have other tactics that they do? So it's left to you guys as the designer to think about that and put it into account. So it's actually left to you. There's even something else I wanted to say, and I was hoping there were more people right now. But the thing is, in practical, for a restaurant, creating an actual app just for giving feedback, I don't know if one person or two people have said so before, it may not be very, very 100% practical, as in just for giving feedbacks. So, what you guys...
Excuse me, ma.
Yes?
Okay, ma, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Sorry to interrupt you. What you are just saying is actually what I was thinking about, and I didn't know how to really express myself about it. I was thinking if the app, because I was thinking that if you have a feedback app different from the original app, is it going to be so flexible for people to download the feedback app and be using it to give feedback? Why not improve on the original app and incorporate the feedback features into the app?
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's just one app, but then the feedback feature is incorporated into the app. So people are not confused which one is this, which one is that.
Okay. Well, okay. David said if I am saying your thoughts, that you should allow me to talk now. Oh yeah, keep on talking. I'm hearing you. Continue, I'm listening.
Okay. The thing was that yesterday when myself and my group members, we were trying to look for some apps on probably Play Store. So one of us was able to get one from UBA. The app. Someone made mention of why creating another set of application for feedback when you can just incorporate it in the main app. So the ratings were very, very, very low. So I was like, probably we should just try and see what other features we can add to the app to make it stand out or something. I don't know.
Okay, good. It's good you guys are you're now thinking it. But let me, before I actually address it, let me Kende. Arokoyo Kende. I'll read that out. That makes sense. I'll read it in a bit. So before I actually address this, I'd like to say that there's a soft skill you guys need to have as UX designers, and that soft skill is the skill of speaking up. There are situations, in short, there are plenty of situations. It's not going to be today, it's going to be many situations where a company or a client will tell you to do something, and from your research or from your common sense, you would know that this thing will not make sense. Maybe from your own experience, you realize that this thing will not work based on this, and this. So it is left for you as a designer to be able to come up with an articulate comeback to it, so that you can convince them not to take a particular route and take one particular route. So basically, I would have thought that somebody since last week, or not somebody, many people will have brought this up. In short, it came to my mind several times. But I said I'm not going to talk. I won't talk because it's not my project, and I won't talk because that is actually part of your work to be as researchers. Yes, so let me read what you guys are saying. Arokoyo Kende said, how about an app that allows you to read reviews and give feedbacks on all the restaurants in a state or region? That's a beautiful idea. Very beautiful idea. Wonderful idea, actually. So these are part of your jobs as what do you call it? As designers. Yes, so even though we've agreed that we're going to do this specifically for specific restaurants, it's also a good thing to think about it this way. So there are two ways of thinking about it. Maybe one from the angle of a particular company. So a company calls you as a designer, please help us do this, and this. So in that case, you can't come up preferring a solution such as let us create an app that will give feedback for all the restaurants. They are like, who is paying you? What kind of solution is that? So, however, if it was for a situation where you are creating a solution, just trying to solve the problem of feedback, which was our original stuff, then that's cool. So now, let me read the next thing. Someone said, Kayode said, yeah, what I see about this app is that people picking up this application and giving feedback anyhow. Yeah, that's it. So, okay. Yeah, I want to say something. So while trying to, yes, please hold on. I'm trying to I'm trying to say something. I don't forget what I'm trying to say. Okay, so while trying to when you're trying to do this, when you're doing your research and you realize that, oh, okay, it might not make enough sense to create a completely different feedback app. If that's the case, then you'd say, okay, maybe the solution should be that it should be part of an existing app. But then again, what about if you're working on a project, like maybe you're working for, I don't know which of, maybe Krispy Kreme. I don't think Krispy Kreme do they have an app at all? Can someone answer that question? Does Krispy Kreme have an app?
No, I checked the app that exists is not for Nigeria.
So in a situation where they don't have an app at all for, say, the group of people they are targeting, like here in Nigeria or Lagos or Abuja, whatever. So what you do in that situation, I'll be okay, what can we do? Maybe for those kind of people, you might have to create a standalone feedback app. But if I expected that you guys from your research, okay, this company has an app already. So what we should be doing is not an app on its own. We need to be creating an in-app feature. So we are extending their solution. What you do when you're trying to extend the solution is you screenshot what they have. You put it in your research as part of your documentation, screenshot what they have, and then you point to where exactly you're going to be fixing in your own solution. So you then start doing your own research based on what exists. So you can now say in your research that because you do not have scope on what they currently have, you can note some of the things that you realize that are wrong about their app to start with. But the part that you have scope on, which is the fact that it's the feedback section, not a feedback app on its own, but it's the feature called feedback. Then if that's the case, if that's the part that you want to work on, then cool. So it doesn't necessarily have to be a standalone app. So before that person talks, I want to read other stuff that's been said here. David said you can sell guns. It doesn't mean you control how humans use it. Well, you can actually control how humans use it. You can actually control how people use stuff you sell. There are morals and codes that goes with these things. Okay, feedback should be incorporated with an existing system and be mainly for people who have patronized a business or seek for their services. Company can always have a survey for general reviews. Okay, yes, you want to say something? Speak up.
Yes, I wanted to say somebody just, would I say, wrote out what I had in mind. I think feedback should be for only those who are users. You understand? Because if you just go and create a feedback app and put it there in the Google Play Store, and a 13-year-old boy that was just playing with his father's phone just picks it up and downloads it, or the daddy already has it on the phone, and he just starts writing wherever he likes. It doesn't make sense. I think it should be for only users, those who already have an account with either maybe Kilimanjaro or Domino or whatever.
Yeah,
So
but that's dependent on the fact that the restaurant or the company already has an app, right?
Of course. The most have an app.
About the ones that do not have an app, like Krispy Kreme, for instance.
You can still be there on their website. They can still have a review page on their website, because they can't work without having a website. Maybe they don't have an app, but they have a website. So one can just log into the website and drop his or her feedback. So it doesn't really need to be on the app. Provided they have a website, it has to be there, or it should be there.
Okay.
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 Yeah, but I think it should be for only people who are users already, so that they can control others.
All right. Cool. Okay. So I'm reading some interesting things in the chat. David Oyewole is making me laugh.
Hello, ma'am.
Someone, hold on. If someone has said it already, then leave it be. Very funny. Okay. A 13-year-old can be a valid user. True. Actually, very true. Anybody can be a valid, well, depending on who the company is targeting. If it's ice cream, for instance, even a 7-year-old is a valid user. The review of feedback first. Okay, so someone wants to talk, please.
Hello, ma. Good day, ma.
Hello.
Yes, ma'am. My own point of view is we can't conclude on which of them is effective. until they have given it a try. So that the cost of that may be more, but we may say, because we can only predict what the market will say. If we say we want to incorporate it into usual app that they have, somebody may say that app is already cumbersome and is not using it. Like you said, that
yes, I want to say something, and I'm sorry for interrupting you because I just realized that you guys seem to have a lot of stuff to say about this topic, but nobody said anything until I actually brought it up. By myself, I brought up the topic, but everybody's now agreeing and saying stuff and something. I'm wondering what's the issue? Why is it that we've worked on this project since last week, Wednesday, I think, or Thursday. So why is it that people have not spoken up about, like, for their research, basically? If this was part of your research, then you should have included it as part of your search results and your search report, and then it should be something that you will have put into account in your presentation or your project. So can somebody tell me why? Yeah?
Yeah, permit me to keep something in. I would say the reason a lot of people haven't spoken up is I think if we do not understand what we are looking for, finding it may be very difficult. Certain questions here point to the fact that not everybody here understands why we are even doing the research in the first place.
Okay.
Because if we are handing out surveys and we are asking people questions, definitely it's because we want to get facts and not come back to assumptions. Because from what I can hear, it seems like a lot of people are still assuming. If you're still assuming after a survey, then the survey is nonsense. Sorry to say, permit me to use that word. It simply means you didn't ask the right questions. If you ask the right questions, you get the right answers.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Okay, so we're actually almost at break time, even though we're not able to do more reviews, but I like this conversation that is coming up. So I agree with some of what David has just said, which is that the whole point of doing a research, whether interview or surveys or observational research or usability studies, whatever form of research it is, the whole point of doing a UX research is to, I know I showed this to you guys in my presentation when I was presenting last week. One of the reasons is for you to test your ideas, but another very important reason is because you need to validate or invalidate your assumptions. So a reason why you do research is because you have some assumptions. There's nothing wrong with having assumptions, but your job as a UX researcher is to check if your assumption is valid or whether it is not valid. So a lot of people are saying, you're thinking stuff, I think. Many people are having opinions on whether it should be a part of an app or whether it should be a standalone app and all that, but that was actually part of your research. So probably during your research, you should be asking questions to not just you should look at who are my target audience. My target audience are two groups of people. I think this is part of where your research might have been a little bit lopsided, almost everyone. The first group of people are the people that are going to be given the reviews, who are like customers of the restaurant. But the second people are also the restaurant itself. Both of them are target audience. So if the other group of people, which are the restaurant managers or whatsoever, if they don't review the feedback that people are going to give, then what then is the point of the feedback? So there are two groups of people that should be researched. I like that this process, I like that you guys are learning a lot from this whole process. Now, the second part of what David said, I don't particularly agree with, is that if you have this kind of assumptions at this stage, and then it means that your survey or your research might have been nonsense. So that is not really true. And the reason is because surveys or interviews, any form of research, is something that is iterative as well. You can do your research once, which is what you guys have done. Many of you guys did into surveys. Some people did face-to-face conversations. Some people did phone conversation. So you can do your research the first time. You come back, you analyze it, but you realize that, oh my gosh, okay, I might have missed this part out, or maybe a new question even comes up, like, okay, now that we've gotten, which is what is going on right now. So this is a very good point that we are in, which is we've done the original research to validate that people are having these frustrations. People actually need to give their feedback. We've cross-checked it that it is not only us, we are not the only people that are thinking this. So now that we found that out, it's now time to, it's because we don't have the time during this training to go back again and do another research. But ideally in the real world, you might have to go out again and be like, okay, how do we go about this solution? Should we do this as an in-app, or should we do it as a standalone? For this particular company, do they even have an app? If they don't have an app, do we need to add some extra features to let this thing make sense? So those are the kind of things that could be done at this stage. It doesn't it doesn't mean at all that your original research was useless or invalid. It just means that you need to do some more research. Research is something that keeps on going on and on and on and on. It's not a finite thing. It's not something that ends. So it is time for you guys break. I know some more people have some things to say, but
yeah, I would have
please
liked to share something very briefly on this. That's if I have the permission.
Okay, let's take an extra 5 minutes.
Right,
Kola Wale wanted to say something first. So after Kola Wale, then Young.
All right, thank you.
Thank you so much. Ma'am, we couldn't have gotten to this point if we had not done those researches.
Yeah, but that's what I just said. You don't need to repeat what I just said. Kola Wale, I don't want us to repeat the same thing that we've already talked about. That's exactly what I just said. You couldn't have come to this point without doing the original research. So you're right about that.
The two apps may be effective. We cannot conclude on which of the app, whether it is integrated or it is standalone, until we have tested it with the responses of the customers. If we say the additional module is going to be effective and people didn't go there, whereas the other app, which is standalone, are the ones that people are trooping into, which means our assumption was wrong. So I wouldn't say your interpretation you gave us that we should have a standalone app is out of it. I would say we can run both, and it can actually give us the lead of which one will be effective at the end of the day.
Okay, that's a good point. So there it is again about validating or invalidating your assumption. So yeah, it's about testing. So there it is again. So however, you don't need to go back and you don't need to, what's it called? You don't need to do the whole design until you come up with your final design for even both of them. It doesn't mean that you will spend all the manpower on doing two complete designs for two different solutions, one standalone, one feature, before you now test it. No, you can actually do your test. You can do your research even with simple sketches, or even without a sketch itself. You can do your research to find out what people think. It's how you ask your questions or how you do your research that is important. Okay, Young, what do you have to say?
All right, thank you so much for the opportunity. So this conversation actually just borders around the fact that as we continue to make this research, we're getting to find out more things. For my group, we all actually talked about having the app to be featured, the feedback to be an in-app or in the website, a feature in the website, because we're using Domino's Pizza and we realize that they have an app already. They also have a website. However, our research was able to show us that people did not know about giving feedback, even though our research showed us that they would have loved to give feedback, especially on the quality of their food. The research showed that they were quite enthusiastic to give feedback. So, but they didn't, most of their responses was like, in fact, even though we put the option of an app, they did not choose it. Most people did not choose an app for their feedback. They wanted an feedback process but they did not choose an app because we gave them option that if you would like to give feedback, which of these platforms would you like to use? Most people, the platform came up top. Another platform that came up top was a suggestion box. The app was the least on their choice.
Mm-hmm.
And this goes to show that even though we think that creating an app is a good solution, these people may not really relate with this the way we think it is. So it may just be a feature on an already existing platform, since Domino's Pizza has a platform already. So we also thought that, okay, one of the things we can do is, because people can look away from feedback as soon as they've made their order, one of the things we can also do is give them, Domino's Pizza is doing a lot of discounts. So what if we attach a discount to the feedback? So if you do a feedback, your next order, we give you a coupon for your next order. You use that coupon or that code to enter your next order immediately after your feedback, and then you get like a 20% discount on your next order. So every time you give us a feedback.
Are you saying that you would use that as an incentive for them to make use of the feedback app?
Not the app. After they finish ordering.
App, okay.
Yes, they can. That is still a feature on their website, but so that they don't ignore, because I can be busy, I am in a hurry. It's fine. Just leave the feedback. So we just make
So
that
let me say something. Sorry for. Let me say something. Sorry for interrupting you. So if you guys remember, like last week, earlier on when we started talking about research, somebody mentioned, I think one or two people brought up the question of, okay, are we making this a mobile app, or are we making this a something? How is this thing going to be? And I remember that I kept on saying, that's not the focus of this. Your point is to do your research, and your research will inform whatsoever it is that you build later on. So this is one of those situations where you shouldn't keep your solution in mind while you're doing your research. This gives you guys a practical example of why you shouldn't do that. Because when you put your solution in your mind while you're doing your research, you're setting yourself up for failure because you're already biased. You're already thinking that it should be an app, it should be this, it should be. Meanwhile, funny enough, many times some solutions to problems are not necessarily digital. Some solutions to problems could be as simple as just changing something very, very small, something very small. So it doesn't have to, everything is not build an app, everything is not build an app. UX design is not it's not really about building an app or a web app or a website, no. Sometimes, depending on your target audience, if say for a business, your target audience are say illiterate, then building an app doesn't serve any purpose. You are just wasting manpower, wasting money, wasting everything. So then now about the whole in-app or in part of your solution, it depends on you guys. It depends on the project you're working on. That's why I like what Anaka did in our sketch earlier on. So depending on what you're doing, you can take that kind of approach of, okay, so let's build one app that kind of features ordering a food, but at the same time giving your app. Now, an example of giving feedback giving that really, really works is the situation of car hailing or cab hailing, I mean, which is like Uber and Bolt. There has been no time, not even once, that I take an Uber ride and I don't give feedback. It has never happened. So what they do, what happens right there is that they are evaluating the service that has just been offered for you. Immediately you finish your ride, they ask you for your feedback. Now it's slightly different. The experience is different with food, because even if I order the food on an app, let me even use food, ordering an app on an app now. Even if I order a food on an app, the problem there is that immediately I finish ordering it, it's not when I've already eaten the food. So I'll probably still spend 30 minutes to finish eating that food before I give my feedback. So what can be done? It may not be sensible to copy exactly what Uber or Bolt is doing. It should not. It might not. It's definitely not sensible. what you can do is while you're brainstorming, which is why I told you guys to brainstorm in groups. While you're brainstorming, you can be like, okay, so maybe what we can do is for every single time someone visits this restaurant app, just ask them about their last experience with the app. So the first thing is you could ask them for their feedback. Instead of telling people to actually log in into an app to give their feedback, that might not work. So me, I'm already giving you guys like solution to the problem. So it may not be it may not be practical for you to tell people to download an app from Play Store specifically to just be giving feedback. Why not let it be part of your ordering system, but every single time somebody comes back, then you give your feedback about the last time you ordered. That could be a solution. So that's what I have to say. If I was the one doing the project, I'll probably think along that line. So yeah, let me see. People are saying stuff in the chat. Hold on, let me read this chat. What's somebody saying? Trudeau. Okay. I have to scroll though. Now, wow. What are people saying? Okay, Kennedy said Trudeau, but a general feedback app. Okay, let me leave that one. I think I've talked about that already. Kenneth said, Kenneth, I don't want to read your post, it's too long. Okay, the second one, Kenneth said, brands must keep fighting for market share even with the challenges. Using a good customer experience will trump any form of bad mouthing. True. Okay, Mo said, well, as Ms. Grace said, when you attach prices to get review, people won't be honest with it. Well, not exactly. Okay, not exactly. Maybe I'll talk about that. Isaac said, people will just feel what they want then. Not really. Justin said, about this, are you saying for as long as the app is available for the feedback means there would continuously be an incentive to push people to give feedback? Not a good marketing strategy, though. Exactly. It may not be a good marketing strategy to keep on giving incentive to give feedback on the app. Then can I say not totally true? Incentive will work. Okay, so that's actually a long time. It's a battle that is happening still with even between intellectuals. Does incentive or does incentive not work? So it's not a new thing. It's not a new argument. What I'd like to say about this is how you implement your incentive strategy is what matters. It's not really about the incentive, like giving incentive itself. It's for instance, if I wanted to give someone an incentive for filling my survey, what I would do is is how I speak to the person that matters first. I'll let the person empathize with the problem I'm trying to solve. Because they empathize with it already, they're even eager to give their feedback. So giving an incentive would just be like a plus. So what you could do is, if the person already empathizes with it, one strategy that some UX researchers subscribe to is to give your incentives even before your research starts. So it is not, so that it doesn't be like, it's not like a payment for their time. So for instance, I'm trying to run a survey, but I'd like you to give me 5 minutes or 10 minutes of your time. Here is an incentive, or here is a gift card just to appreciate you. I don't know. Some people say that works. So, but anyway, that's actually, it's still a fight. It's still not really a fight, but it's still a back and forth people are having. Olabode Kennedy, please, Ms. Grace, help to understand this when you're able to. I realize this Demiro can also be used for low fidelity wireframing. So I'm kind of wondering why Figma or why, okay, I'm kind of wondering which, I guess, Figma or Miro. Okay, yeah, Miro can kind of do low fidelity wireframing, but the reason why I would prefer you guys to use Figma is because once you do your wireframing properly, very well, using Figma, you can easily just duplicate your low fidelity and easily transform it to high fidelity, unlike if you do it in Miro. Okay, somebody said we'll still collect our break. If we want to break, okay. Well, yeah, you guys can have a break, probably not 30 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. So you guys can quickly go on your break now if you want a break. Let's somebody said I don't buy the idea of giving incentives for feedback. Okay. Okay, guys, more questions are coming in. Let's quickly go for our break. By 12:30, we'll be back for some more. So the agenda for those ones that are leaving already, I've not finished talking, you are leaving. For the agenda for after the break is for you to, we would quickly get to the next phase. I'll introduce you guys to the next phase. We've done our sketches, and I'll show you guys what is the next thing for you to do and how we should progress, and then we'll take some more questions. So that's it. Thank you guys. See you by 12:30.